Hello, I'm Bob Colayco, and you're watching the video review for Counter-Strike Condition Zero. When Condition Zero was announced 3 years ago, it seemed like a great idea. Single-player module for what was inarguably the most popular multiplayer first-person shooter at the time. However, since its announcement, the development of the game has passed through more hands in the collection basket at Easter Mass. The result is a game that, while still timeless, has fallen victim to its own delays, as it now shares the spotlight with 3 other, more polished titles. By now, most first-person shooter fans have a clear idea of what Counter-Strike is, even if they haven't played it extensively. If you're not in the know, Counter-Strike is a fast-paced, team-based tactical shooter that pits terrorists versus counter-terrorists in round-based play. The 2 different game types are bombing and hostage rescue. One requires terrorists to successfully bomb a target, and the other needs a counter-terrorist to lead hostages to safety. Players earn money based on their performance in the previous round, and this money is used to purchase improved gear such as shotguns, assault rifles, grenades, and armor. The arsenal is based on real-world weapons such as Desert Eagles, AK-47s, MP5s, and other equipment such as tactical shields. The single-player action in Condition Zero is identical to what Counter-Strike veterans are familiar with. The only difference is that the other players are AI-controlled bots instead of actual human players. You play the role of the commander, and you'll pick your team of bots as they vary in skill, aggressiveness, and weapon of choice. More skilled bots cost more points to hire, but as you progress through the campaign, you'll gain more points to hire them. Throughout the campaign, and its 6 tours of duty, you'll see numerous maps that, if you've played Counter-Strike before, will be instantly familiar. Aztec, Dust, and Italy all make appearances here, as well as a tweaked version of Militia. A handful of new maps have been added to the mix, such as Stadium, as well as Fastline, which appeared on the recent Xbox port of Counter-Strike. Each map requires you to beat it 3 times, all while completing a number of challenges, such as attaining a certain number of kills or winning the round in a certain amount of time. As you progress, the difficulty of the challenges increases, as does the skill of the terrorist. For Counter-Strike veterans, the game might not provide too stiff a challenge on normal difficulty, but the 2 higher levels will provide a more rigorous experience. While bot AI in most first-person shooters is laughably bad, your teammates and opponents in Condition Zero are surprisingly smart. They communicate their actions constantly by voice, filling you in on their position as well as enemy sightings. They know how to camp the body of a fallen bomb carrier, and the terrorists know they need to retrieve the bomb to complete the mission. They seem to know each map like the back of their hand and pick out strategic places to put themselves. They aren't infallible, though. They'll occasionally get hung up on geometry, or sometimes even abandon a planted bomb, allowing it to be defused without a fight. Adding to the overall value of the game is a deleted scenes mode. These are the missions that Ritual was working on before handing off the game to Turtle Rock. The missions are fairly well fleshed out, with scripted sequences and plenty of action, but they mostly feel tired and cliché, and like with most director's cuts, it's easy to see why they weren't included as part of the official package. There's also a multiplayer mode, which is the same Counter-Strike we all know and love, exactly the same thing we've been playing for years now. The good news is that it's still great, full of the timeless action that you've come to expect. There's one thing that really shines about Condition Zero, it's the bot AI. Their behavior is remarkably lifelike, and at higher difficulty will give you a good run for your money. Regrettably, in the single-player mode, you're limited to playing as a counter-terrorist, and while the graphics have been spruced up a bit, it still looks like a 6-year-old game. If you're already playing Counter-Strike online and have been for years, there's not going to be too much for you here. But if you're a newcomer, it might be the introduction you've been looking for. For the full review as well as screenshots and gameplay movies, check out the GameSpace.